So if you've got Facebook and you're subscribed to the dinging group, which I know some of you are, then there are links on here. Let's go into the right page. Why is it not taking me to the right page? Probably because I'm not logged in on this browser. Let's do it from here then. Okay. So there are links on this page to take you to the dinging installation, and we've actually added I've actually added some improvements just this evening. So those of you who have got the Facebook links and are able to get to this to this page here, it's this screen here where I've put in a message saying new links for installing Ding, and you've just got a link, 4 different links depending on what system you're running. And you can just click on that link and it will immediately download the installation file. So that's a single step where the existing system requires 2 or 3 steps. So it just makes it a little bit simpler if you're doing that. Now, last time, Chris, have you got the bit.ly link for the actual?
I can find it and I can put it on chat.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing to do?
Yes, please. And that would be a good way forward. And then we can read it out for the benefit of those who aren't in a position to pick it up from the chat. Is there anybody here? I think last week we had some people who were running Macs, but I'm not sure I see any of them here today. Is there anybody who's not on Windows here?
Yes, I'm trying to install it
right.
on a Mac.
Ah, right. Okay. And Mike as well. Graham and Mike. Okay.
Can I ask, my computer keeps saying this type of file can harm your computer.
Yes, it's
so
it is.
Do I want to keep Ding client or not?
Yes, you do. Now the thing is that this is the whole business of virus checking is one of the things that that does the most to make it difficult for any small organization to release any kind of software, because
yeah. So what do
actually,
I do? Just press keep.
So yes, you can press keep. Yeah, what's happening is these virus checkers, in various different ways, they give these really rather alarming messages, which I always think they are, they're as bad as saying I think someone's a criminal because they're black. It's really because it's just the presumption. They've not done any kind of scan or anything. All they've done is said this isn't in our list of known approved software, therefore we're going to declare it's unsafe. Now, what they're really saying is we're blocking it because we can't vouch for whether it's safe or not. They really shouldn't be saying it isn't safe. Or it may harm the computer. It's just an unreasonable exaggeration to make. And any piece of software that you install that doesn't come from the the major firms who can afford to pay for having their software checked before it's released, something that's only going to distribute to a small number of people. You can also it will also stop warning you if you've acquired enough reputation, but I don't know how much reputation you need, and do we stand a chance of ever acquiring that level of reputation? There's only about 5,000 ringers or so, I believe, in the country. So nothing at all, really. Anyway, so Chris, did you manage to add those things to the chat?
Yes, it's in the chat at the moment.
Goodo. And I can't get to the chat to see it. So where's the chat? Here we are. Right. Okay. So let's just give you a quick demo then. So if I go to the link that Chris has mentioned, it actually takes you to this page here. Now, last week I told you to install to download a file called DingUnity 64. I've actually made an improvement since then because I want to get you to install instead this file called dingwindows64.msi. It is actually the same installation. So those of you who've already got it installed, don't worry, you don't need to reinstall it. But this just allows us to go a little bit further towards getting that degree of reputation. So when you click on here, what will happen is you get to a screen like this, and then you just click download. All right, and if you're running Google Chrome, as I am here, then you get a screen. It just says, this type of file can harm your computer. Do you want to keep it? And you click keep. If you are on Microsoft Edge, I'm actually going to choose to discard that just in order to show you. There's a new feature I've only recently found out about on Microsoft Edge. And here, if I go to the same page again, and I'll do exactly the same thing, I've got it appearing in a different layout. Let's make it look the same. There we are. So it now looks the same as you saw just now. I'll go to the same file and I will select download. And here it comes. So the thing that is quite nice about the way it works under Edge is that when it completes the download and gives you the same sort of warning, it also gives you the opportunity to say, yes, I consider this to be a safe file. So DingUnity was DingWindows was blocked because it could harm your device, meaning because we can't tell whether it might harm your device. So what you need to do then is you click on these three dots, and then you've got the easy option of just clicking keep, but you've also got an option called report this file as safe. And if you go to there, then you'll be doing us a little bit of a favor by saying, yes, I think this is a safe website. So you tick there. You prove that you're not a robot by trying to work out what the letters are that they've put there. And if you can't read them, then you can click on New and get another version. And if you can't see them, you can click on Audio and listen to it. Although when you listen to it, it's in a sufficiently deliberately muffled voice that it's just as difficult. Would you say that's a D or a P? I'm
So
going
it was a P.
I think it's a P. S3.
PlayStation 3.
Yes. So right. So I will submit my my claim. That is my piece of feedback, and I've no idea whether how many of us it would take to make a difference. Probably rather more than 30, but at any rate, the file has now been accepted here, so we can go back down to the bottom here, and has it? So did it do that? Actually, it looks as though we've still got to click on keep, and then it will carry on. So I'm not sure why it did that. Actually, last time I tried that, it once you had selected it was okay in the previous screen, it was happy. So this time this is the other way of doing it. When you click on keep, it goes into this screen, and then you can click show more, and you can get to the report this app is safe from here as well. So there's two ways of getting to it. So I'll just click keep anyway. And it's completed the download. It's the one right at the very top here, and then I can go into that download and launch it. And all we've done so far is certify it. Put our vote in to say we think it's safe. It's still going to send us the same message. So you know, you've sent a message saying you think it's safe, but you're still going to have to confirm it here. And you're going to have to confirm it if you've got some other virus checker as well. And some of them are more aggressive than others. Some of them will just say, because I've not heard of it, I'm going to delete it. So you now click on more info here, because you don't want to click don't run. That's not going to help anybody. So you click on more info, and then you get a choice of run anyway. And at that point, you're finally past all these difficult virus checkers, and you're able to move forward. All right, and you're seeing this screen here on my version because I've already got a copy of the program on here anyway. So that's what you get when that's what you would get if you, if those of you who've already installed it, if you go in again, you'll get this screen, which allows for reinstalling it if there's something the matter, or for removing it if you decided you don't like it. So I'm going to remove it so that we can see what it looks like when we're doing an installation for the first time. Right, and having removed it, I will select the same file again in order to launch the installation. So this is what you see when you're actually installing, and the installation from here is very straightforward, very much more straightforward now, because you just click next, you click this button here to next to the install to continue with the installation. Then you click install, and then a little window pops up, which you won't see on your screen in this session, but it's if you've ever installed anything at all on Windows, including if it comes from Microsoft themselves or anybody like that, you get a window asking you to confirm that yes, you really did ask to install this. So that's there to make sure that somebody can't, some malicious program can't decide to install something for you. And for a reason that I don't understand, it takes a long time thinking about it. So I don't know what it's got to think about here, but it will eventually come up with the message to ask me to do this. So some days this comes up straight away, and other days it takes a lot longer. So I now got the message, user account control. Do you want to allow this app from an unknown publisher to make changes to your device? Well, it's not an unknown publisher, it's me. So I will click yes, and it's then immediately carried on. And then all I've got to do is click finish, and it's done. So I think we've got a goodly number of people now who have successfully signed in, and those of you who are on the Unity version will have the 6 ropes in front of you. Those of you who are on the standard version will have 6 buttons. Let's start just by, I think what we'll do is those of you who are on the Unity version, I'm going to share my screen again so that I can show you a little bit first of all. All right. So Unity version users, you're seeing this at the moment.
Yeah, I can see only a sort of subsection, a smaller bit of that.
Right. Okay. So those of you who don't see it, perhaps you don't see all of the ropes. On your keyboard, if you can find where there are keys called page up or page down, now they are usually somewhere in the top right. They vary on different makes of keys, and they're usually called PG up and PGDN. On one of my laptops that I've got here, on my work laptop, they are in the top right-hand corner, and I've got a small tablet in which they are in the bottom right-hand corner. So
yeah, that's worked for me. Thanks.
Okay, so yeah, you use the PGDN key, and that makes it zoom out, which is what I'm doing now. You hold that button down and it zooms out. And if you hold PG up in, then it zooms in. And if you use the left and right arrow keys, you can spin round the circle. Like so you can put yourself into whatever position you want. Now, before we try and do things on the ropes, I think what we should do, pretty as that is, on the right-hand side of your screen, there is a little button there with a little arrow. All right, so this is designed to be looking at it as the pages of a book. So if we turn the page 1 to the right by clicking on this arrow, then it takes us to a screen where there are some options that we can use. And having got to there, I'm then going to go to Style, and I'm just going to put the mouse over to the left-hand edge of this line on Style and click there, because that will then move the marker across from to the left-hand side, and then it says numbered buttons. Right, and now I will page to the left again by using this arrow key on the left-hand side of the screen, and then I see 6 numbered buttons. All right.
Lars, sorry for the pain. How did you get to that screen with the various options on them for key, etc.?
All right. So the options for the keys then, over on the 2 sides of your blue screen, you've got little arrows in the halfway up.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah,
All
clear.
right. So you click on the one on the right. That takes you into your options.
Yeah, got it.
All right, and then click on the left-hand end of the style bar.
Yeah.
All right, and then click on the left of the arrow buttons to page back to the buttons screen.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether do I need to stop sharing to give people a chance to see their own screens here. Are you able to do that? If I put a handful of people, a random selection of people, let's just take the first few people.
No, don't take me. Don't take me.
Who said who? Bridget said.
Bridget.
No. Yeah. Okay. All right. But you have got the standard version there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to leave out Carol because I know she knows how to use it. And I'm going to leave out Chris because I know he knows how to use it.
Can Julie have a go? Because my daughter's been desperately waiting all evening to have a go.
Right, certainly. Okay.
See it going out.
So, where have we got to then? So David has got 5. Let's just settle for having 6 people in at once for the moment. Let's give those half a dozen people a chance. So as soon as I come back to this page again, those people will now see on the screen an H above one of their numbers, depending on which bell you've been assigned to. All right. So, and when you press the H key on your keyboard, it will ring your bell. And when you press, and it will then, so you're currently seeing an H in the square above your number. So when you press H, your number will jump up like the Sally. It will move up to the top box. And in the bottom box, you'll see a B telling you that you need to press the B key to ring the backstroke. All right. So let me just stop screen sharing. So those 6 people who were Andrew, Anne, Kathy, Julie, David, and Ian, you'd just like to press H and check that that's working. All right. And then, okay, so I'm seeing action from 4 of you. I didn't see anything from Anne or Kathy. Anne told me that she'd managed to do this before, so I assume you're okay. And Kathy, you're on mute, Kathy. And so is Anne. So Anne has got through. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Right, we can hear you. Oh, briefly, you've gone mute again. No, you're back on mute, Kathy.
So space bar to temporarily unmute, or Alt and
yeah, I did do that, but yeah.
As soon as you let go. So Alt and A does a temporary and permanent unmute.
Okay, I'm still showing the bell ropes.
Oh, okay. So you need to well, you can try it like that if you want to. If you just press the H key.
Yeah, should I change the style myself?
It would probably be easier for you to begin with because, you know,
Right.
although the ropes are fun, they're also that much more challenging, which is why
So I need it on numbered buttons and
yeah.
linear, yeah?
So, yeah, you don't necessarily have to change it to linear because, in fact, if you leave it on circle, it will just do it as linear anyway, because there's no such thing as circle mode for the buttons.
Okay.
All right. So was that you?
Yeah, no, mine is saying H on both. It's not going hand and M.
Okay. Righto. So you've changed the options there to
Yeah.
allow that. Okay. Right. So those 6 people, would you like to try and ring some rounds now? So Andrew, you've got the treble, and you just see if we can ring some rounds, and then we'll move on to a few more people, and just check that everybody is up and go for this evening. Right.
I'm just using the mouse. Is there any other key that you can use?
Right, you can use the H key. So you can't change which keys there are. But what you can do is you can do it with the mouse. You can do it by clicking on the box, or if your mouse has your mouse got a wheel on it?
Yes.
Right. Well, that's the easiest way of all to do it. Just use your mouse wheel.
Okay.
And that's the easiest way, because it's certainly, it's the most relaxed way, and it's probably gives you the easiest way to get a bit of rhythm. Okay, so Andrew, would you like to lead us off for some rounds?
Okay, look 2, treble's going, she's gone.
Okay. So,
sorry.
All right, that's now what we saw there, or what we heard there, was the feedback that you get from different people all at the same time. So I was trying to have a look, and this is one of the things I'll try and talk about next week, what you can actually do about reducing the level of feedback. The best thing you can do, exactly the same thing applies if you're using Ringing Room. The best thing you can do is wear headsets. But if you haven't got headsets, or if you've got a problem that the headset is on a different device, there are ways that you can help to reduce the amount of feedback. So out of our band in Trowbridge, some of us wear headsets regularly, some don't. But I will save that one for next week, because we're going on quite long enough already. And I will settle for placing the next band. But what I want to do really now is just show you enough so that you've got a chance of practicing this between now and next week. And next week we can spend a bit more time and actually do some rounds and some methods, and learn how to do some more advanced things. But hopefully you'll get a chance to have a good practice in the meantime, so that we can actually look at some of the details of how to do things. So if you look at what I've got on my screen here, I've got some extra buttons at the bottom here that you won't have had, because I'm the conductor for this band. Now, when you go to the sign-on screen, let's do that so that you can see. So I will load up a second copy. All right, and on that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new tower. So this is how I would suggest you proceed if you want to practice. So I'll just enter my name here, and as I'm doing a private session here, I'm not going to tick any of the towers. Instead, I'll just create my own tower. I just call the tower by my own name. You can give it a description if you want to, but there's no need. So you can then just click on OK. All right. and it would take you to the same screen you saw before. Now, what you then need to know is if you page to the left, you see a screen in which you place the band. And what it's done for me here is it's put me on the treble and Bob, the computer, on all of the other bells. All right. So I can change that if I want. I can select one of these for the third, for instance, and go into that and change that to have me on the third. And then I'll change the treble back to be Bob. All right, so now I'm ringing the third and Bob's ringing all the other bells. I'll just to briefly to show you now, if I go back to here, you see I've got the H above number 3. Okay, and if you want to try it on more bells, then take this slider, click on the slider and move it around. So if I move that to the left, I can get it to ring on only 4 bells. And if I move it to the right, I'm just holding the mouse button down and dragging this across. And you can go up to 12 bells. All right. And then if I page one screen further over to the left, okay, we now have a screen in which we select what we want to ring. And if you click here, you get a little drop down of available methods. Okay, and what we've got on offer, because I'm on the setting, I've chosen 6 bells. It's offering me the 5 and 6 bell methods. All right, so if you want to ring something on of major, you will need to select 8 bells first, and then you'll be able to choose an 8 bell method. So you can select, say, rounds or plain hunt, and practice away and see how you get on. And hopefully it won't take you long to get into the swing of it. So if I select plain hunt on 5, all right, it fills in what else it needs. Down here, this slider, when Bob rings the other bells, he rings at a certain pace. You can make him ring slower if you want to, just so that the interval is nice and slow for you. So you can make him ring a bit slower or a bit quicker. All right, so it's got me set up to ring the third for some. So I've chosen plain hunt on 5, and I've chosen to ring the third. And I get back to here. Now, as I'm ringing the third, I need to ask Bob to start off. So I need to click on the button called Here's Treble in order to start him off. So when I do so, there we go, he rings his first 2 bells, and he will wait for as long as it takes for me to ring the third. He's extremely patient. But when I eventually press the H key to ring the third, all right, he's immediately joined in following me. And as I mentioned to somebody else earlier, I've got my computer set up so that it's also the H key to ring the backstroke. So, and now Bob has rung 2 rounds, just handstroke and backstroke, and then we go with the method. All right, so I'm already looking to be in 4th place because we're ringing plain hunt. And I asked for plain hunt. So I did ask for plain hunt, didn't I? Why have we got?
On 5, beyond 6.
Yes. Let's start that again. I'm going to press reset.
Can't hear your bells there, Giles.
It's two ringing at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you're probably hearing two lots of bells because you're hearing one from your own copy of
Not
Bing.
hearing anything.
Are you not? Okay, maybe you're not. Actually, no, you won't be hearing it through Zoom because I didn't select the option for you to hear the audio. So I think the reason why it didn't work the first time, I don't know whether I pressed, I accidentally pressed one of these other keys and didn't notice. But that will allow you to go in and try some options and just try it out and get accustomed to it. If you page to the right again, back to that options screen again, you can choose the keyboard button on all your screens, or for most of you at least. That option there is currently ticked, and when it's ticked, you get different keys for hand and backstroke. So that's why you've got H for hand stroke and B for backstroke. But if you prefer to leave it unticked, then you get H for both strokes. All right. So if you're using the keyboard, then you might want to consider which way around you want to do it.
Right.
And as far as the rest is concerned, really have a play for the time being. You know, you can have a choice of which set of bells you ring. As I showed you last week, you can ring the heavy bells and you can make them ridiculously heavy. You can ring the light bells and make them very light. And you can try switching into the ropes mode if you want to give that a go as well. And it's the same keys to ring your bell there. And if you give that a bit of a try and see if you can manage to get used to it, and I hope those of you who can feel you're getting somewhere with it. Some of you will feel able to come and join us on Saturday for our practice that begins at 7 o'clock. And you'll find when you do, I always put the details of the Zoom meeting on the login screen. So once I've created the tower, where next to the tower name, I'll call the tower name Open Ringing, All Welcome, and the description will say Zoom, followed by the meeting ID and the password, so that you've got the information that you need in order to join the meeting. All right, so I hope some of you will manage to find enough time to get a bit of practice from what we've managed to cover so far, and feel able to come and join us.